I'd love to feel your body, but try to touch your soul. I'm dying of fake versions. I want something whole.
Hello Brisca V8 fans, welcome to this coverage of the European Championship on Xbox. I'm your host for tonight, Sean. You'll hear me refer to myself as Twisty, purely because my co-host tonight is Sean136. Hello Sean.
Hello, Mr. Twist. So we don't want to confuse ourselves, do we?
No, we don't want to confuse ourselves any more than we are already confused for today.
Well,
That's me clinking the glass in the background, a nice ice cold beer on this lovely sunny day. Have you been up to much today, mate?
I just had a bit of a barbecue, enjoyed myself outside. It's been a nice day. Yourself?
Yeah, similar really, no barbecue, but we've had a few nice walks, enjoyed the outside, got burnt a little bit, and just trying to recover a bit now, I think, and drink a bit of beer.
Awesome.
So, the main show tonight, the European Championship. Have you seen the grid draw?
Yes, I have, yeah. Quite an interesting one, I must say.
Yeah. Well, we might just go through it first, just in case any of the viewers haven't seen the grid draw. And then we'll go through who we think could be the ones to surprise us tonight. So, starting first row is 345 Thomas Andrews on the inside and 344 Richard Smith on the outside. Thoughts on that?
Thomas Andrew from last week, he was very quick. From last week, to be fair, but I think that, if I remember rightly, he was from White.
Rated White top, yeah.
Richard Smith, a bit of a wrecker last week, so probably see the same this week. He probably would say the same.
Yeah, I mean, we'll come back to the track shortly, but this track is definitely suited to a driver like Richard Smith.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I can see him doing quite a bit of damage off the front.
Yeah, you don't need to be quick around here to do some carnage. To even get out front.
Very true.
So, row 2 then.
Go on.
Is 490 Craig Thompson on the inside. And
that's correct.
Then on the outside, we have Harley Spencer, 375. So that's an interesting. What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of lower grade drivers, should we say, starting near the front, which is going to be interesting to see whether they can get away. We're just jumping on board with LR49 here, the Brisca V8 lads are having a couple of last minute practices just before the meeting starts. But yeah, so Craig Thompson from last week, I'd say, is probably the entertainer of the meeting. So will the first two rows get round the first corner? Would be my first thought.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Craig Thompson did get a win last week. In the first heat, and then the rest of the night spent his time upside down, wrong way around.
Entertaining, wasn't he?
Yeah, very much so. So around here, definitely could be the entertainer.
Definitely. And Harley Spencer on the outside. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see the way they set this grid up. I'm not sure myself how they're going to do it, because what starts off on one corner as the outside is then the inside for the next corner. So depending on where they drop the greens, that could be a good position to get away and into the lead early on, and off they go.
Yeah.
I think he was quite quick last week, Harley, wasn't he? From what I remember. Well, that might be my mind playing tricks on me.
I think he was there or thereabouts. Nothing noticeable, but I think was fairly quick. I mean, but he was up there a few times during the night. Yeah, definitely. So moving on to row 3 then?
Row 3. Yeah, Grand National champion so far, 324. That's Sean Bowman. And number 10, that is Gillen. Where's my list? Gillen Bullock. That's a strong row for me. And we didn't get a chance to see Sean race last week, so we don't know what sort of pace he can produce. I'm going to check how to follow because I'm currently in a car that is either wrecked or retired. So yeah, that is a strong row for me, and I think a winner could come from that row and get away. Yeah, Gillen, how did he go last week?
Do you know, he doesn't actually ring any bells, to be honest, believe it or not. Like, there's certain drive you remember, and I can't remember him doing much last week. Whether it's just my memory playing tricks on me, but...
I think he's one of the higher grade drivers who didn't get through the pack as quick as the others. I think that was his problem last week. But hopefully he can show a bit more form tonight. Yes,
definitely, and hopefully be interested to see how Bowman gets on. Maybe. You know, he's obviously got some speed behind him with his 2 heat wins and 3 Grand National wins. So, you know, with his miss last week hasn't hindered his speed. So we move on to row 4. On the inside, we've got Grant Leather. Yeah, that's better.
It is Grant Leather, yeah.
Yeah, so I was reading me right now.
I misspelled that on your list.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
And on the outside of Grant,
he's Jim Slatton.
We can't forget who that is. No. And I think
one of the quicker guys
possibly the favourite for today.
Yeah. The quickest man last week.
We are on board with Grant at the moment in the practice, and just funnily enough, he's just been overtaken by Jim. Grant's using Speed Demon for tonight, which we did touch upon last week. Speed Demon is a brave choice for a figure of 8 track. And we're on lap 11 here of this practice, and he's already down to half health. I don't think that's a wise choice for this meeting. It could be. It could be proved wrong, and Jim has just been taken out on the crossover, so the key tonight is going to be trying to get round the crossover.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, we'll see how they get on with that. Row 5.
Yeah.
Star-studded. We've got inside number 1, Ollie Spencer, and on the outside number 275, current point leader, Terry Hawkins. What do you expect to see from these two?
I think it'll be a winner from this row, personally.
Yeah?
I think Ollie was definitely got some speed last week. And Terry get to see his full potential last week, with obviously being points lead. You could tell he was quick, but probably not as up there as maybe he has been at previous meetings that we haven't seen. So it would be interesting to see how he gets on today. He's at
Definitely.
2 final wins, so it shows off there, and 2 heat wins as well. So I think he's got a bigger bragging rights going into this. Maybe we'll see how he gets on the shale. Maybe tarmac's more his thing. Maybe that's where he struggles.
Possibly. In terms of lap times on the practice run, he's done a 19.0, with the fastest lap in that practice coming from Stocks Kart 345, who we've already mentioned, starting on pole. He's done an 18.8, so
yeah, he's a quick
be a boring race if he gets away. Yeah,
could be.
Row 6.
Row
6, we've got 365 Marcus Brooks.
Yeah.
And number 13, Ashley Crofts.
So, see, again, probably not people that I fully remember from last week. Ashley Croft has been doing a bit as well throughout the week. I've seen him a bit here and there. In the some of the couple other meetings on VBRL, I have seen him about. Not slow by any means, but definitely probably wants some more practice as he moves his as he keeps going.
Yes.
What do you make of that, Rob?
I mean, starting off this far back, you're going to have to put the bumper in early, aren't you? To try and get past a few of the drivers early on, up towards the front. I think these two are going to struggle to win it from there, so I guess maybe aim for a podium and see where it goes from there. It will be my advice to them. But I think they're both quick drivers. They're not slow drivers, are they?
No, not at all. No, but a thing with a track like this, I mean, you don't even need to be the quickest. It can just be about survival around here. You know, if you can just keep that car going for the laps, then you'll be winning all day.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Row 7, 492
492
and 69. 492 is Liam
Liam
Rose.
Rowe. You're looking at your list then, weren't you? And
I'm
69
looking
is
at my
Matt.
list.
That's Matt Barnard. I
Matt
remember that off the top
Barnard,
of my
number
head.
69. I'll tell you why I'm looking at my list, because 492 races with us during the week, doesn't he, in the bangers?
Does he? Trying to think of
And
that.
he does, yeah, LR 492. And he's fairly
I've not
quick,
seen him yet. I've not seen
and
him yet,
he
actually,
puts the
this
bumper
week.
in.
So,
No, well, he has been about in meetings. But, yeah, now, what we're going to do before we go through Matt is we might just invite him to a party if we can. And have a quick chat with him before the meeting, see how he's feeling for tonight. Might just have to talk him through setting up his mic.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I can.
Yeah, to get him so everyone can hear us. Hello, Matt.
Hello.
Now, do you know how to set your mic up so that we can hear you on stream?
I've just ticked the thing that says include my audio, so...
Yeah, that should
Right
have
at the
worked.
very top. Okay, so if anybody's watching, could they just confirm whether they can hear Matt or not in the chat? That would be marvellous. And we'll get cracking. I guess first question, Matt. How are you feeling for tonight?
I'm feeling alright. I've come on this afternoon and had a bit of play. But then,
Yeah.
obviously in terms of real racing, I never have any luck in the European. I think last year I had a flat back inside tyre. The year before that, the half shaft snapped, so...
Right.
It's never normally my luckiest race, but...
Well, hopefully,
I guess the draw hasn't been
time
too
lucky and all
lucky
that.
for you.
Well,
being
yeah,
14th
back of
on the
the
grid.
as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, mate.
well, hopefully mechanical
Probably
issues
not.
won't be that much of a problem on this game. on this.
Well, no, that's true.
So, I mean, obviously, apart from the very obvious things, what's the major differences between racing in real life in a real car and racing on the Xbox?
The hits are probably bigger on the Xbox.
We did notice that last week.
You get like a couple big hits, but nowhere near as many, and
Yeah.
that's probably the main one, really.
You don't feel it as much the day after, though, do you? That's
Well,
the
yeah, that's
main
true.
thing.
Well, apart from the drink while you're racing, but other than that, yeah.
That's only you, I think, though, mate.
Tell you about.
So, last question from me, Matt, before you go and get started. I don't know if they're going to go and take one first or what, but obviously you're going to win the European tonight. But if for some reason you don't, who have you got your money on?
I don't know. It's hard. In normal circumstances, I'd have gone for like, Terry or Jumbo, but with it being the figure of 8, I really don't know.
Yeah, it does look a lottery out there in practice, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, because I mean, like it's so hard to like gauge as you're coming across. Like, I mean, I know I watched the first one because I didn't join in time started, and like Terry and Jumbo, they were still quick, but then obviously it only takes someone to come and wipe them out, and it's anyone's game.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, if I can give you any advice on this track, mate, just keep an eye to the right.
Oh yeah.
Don't be in too much of a hurry to get across that crossover.
No. The
yeah.
best,
Well,
your friend around here is your brakes. Like,
Noticed
giving taps of
from-
brakes, just letting cars go through it.
Yeah, I've noticed from practice there that you've got to be careful in the corners because you can take because it's so tight. But like, not only can someone take a dive if you're coming into the corner, they can have you coming out of the corner as well. So
Yeah,
That's
and slam you into the
very
wall.
true, yeah.
And slam you into the wall, yeah.
you've got to keep an eye on the cross, keep an eye and see how close the car behind is. It's definitely going to be a tough one. I think it could really be anyone's tonight.
Yeah. So do you not fancy putting a petition in for when you get back to the real racing a figure of 8 track for the Brisca V8s? No.
No, not Thursday.
You
I tell
know.
you what though,
Fair enough,
I know
mate.
they have figure of 8 racing out in America, and fair play to them chaps.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That stuff.
I could never do it.
Well, we wish you all the best for tonight, mate. And,
Thank you very much.
You never know, we might be talking to you again after the final with a bit of luck.
Fingers crossed.
Alright, mate.
Alright, cheers.
We'll see you in a bit. Ta, mate. Ta.
Ta-ra.
So, I think he's feeling fairly confident, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Chat.
But like I say, it's anybody's game tonight. Going into this.
Definitely.
I've noticed Craig Thompson and a Star Beast there. That's the first driver we've seen use that car choice. So
I don't think that'll be a bad choice, the Star Beast. It's not as slow as people think. I don't personally think.
No, I quite enjoy that car. It's a nice car to drive. Definitely.
Nobody has gone for my favourite, the Gatecrasher, by the looks of things. And obviously they're going to rue that decision, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Gatecrasher around here with not much armour on it would have been the way to go. Personally, still quite strong even without the armour, and you get a bit. You still got a bit of weight in it, but you know you get the speed then as well. So it's going to be a tricky one. Obviously, the Road Plus is the favourite again, as we normally see in most unlimited meetings. Even in the stock cars, you're seeing the same thing.
Yeah. Now, I think there's a bit of a hold-up here.
Yep.
Sean Bowman is currently stuck in traffic, as is Luke Smith. And we've not mentioned Luke Smith, actually, yet. He drew the worst number on the grid, number 15, starting right at the back.
Current British.
British.
And if we're honest, from last week, not exactly up there. Really, it was did seem to struggle last week on the show, which was we were both quite surprised by that. To get a win, or maybe it was just the track. Maybe he just doesn't like these track, and he suited Hilltop a lot more because it's a massive tarmac.
Possibly. I mean, he looked like he had the speed, but from the brief moments I saw him, he always looked half out of control. And I'm wondering if that was his issue last week, because you sort of half lose it on these sort of tracks, and you will be facing the wrong way. And once you're facing the wrong way, that's it. Your race is over, isn't it?
Oh yeah, massively. Yeah, well, the track being so
not
small.
on a track like this one, with it being figure 8, because anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the other thing. Go on.
This one is all about just keeping going. Like, that's all this is.
Don't lose heart. Keep going. Even if you're way down the order, you can still make it back up. The thing I was going to mention is, like with last week, there's no barriers on the corners. So if someone does get a heavy shot going into one of the corners, they could well end up in the grandstand. And it takes a long time to get the car reset and get going again. So that could be a problem. So I think they're going to have another 5-lap practice just whilst they're waiting for the two drivers that have yet to be here. I'm going to park my car somewhere nice and stable. Ollie's just rejoined. I think he got kicked out before for some reason. Maybe his game had crashed or something. So we'll go on board with Matt. Find him. He sat in third in this practice. We'll see how he gets on in the practice. Okay. Try and get back so we can see as much of the track as we possibly can. See the spectators are a bit sparse over there in the crowd. That's a shame to see. We would have liked to have seen a few more turning up.
It looks like the social distancing, to be fair.
They are definitely social distancing, yeah. Yeah, definitely. There must be some rope fencing up over there as well, because there's quite a lot of spectators seem to be standing as far as possible away from the track. Terry's just been done on the crossover, which sort of enforces what we were saying about this crossover.
Yeah.
And Matt's now through, or he was through into first place, but he's just been taken out by Crofts. and he's dropped right back down to 9th in this practice. But he did slow down a bit on that crossover, so maybe he's taken some of our advice. And see how we.
Oh, you got spun out there.
Yeah, I think you're a couple of laps behind, aren't you?
Yeah, it's that bad, yeah. Yeah, but
I don't know whether you've noticed this yet on the stream, but Richard Smith, Red Shed, has gone for a rubber duck on the top of his roof. Any idea what that's about?
No, I think he did last week as well, if I remember rightly. I'm sure, or at least one of the cars he had last. I'm sure he had it on at one point, yeah. Well, at least we can see him easier.
Yeah, well, we'll know. I mean, to be fair, his car is pretty striking in the red and yellow. You're not going to mistake him for anyone, that's for sure.
No. No, I think an interesting track, really, to pick, you know. I think lots of carnage. I think it doesn't matter where you really start as such. I think you can, as we saw from our stream on Thursday, you know, you have the driver who won the final in the end was down in 10th, and by the end, you know, he comes to the last corner and wins it. So it can be it could be a similar thing tonight, you know, and especially like this track. It also depends who's got the balls to go flat out through that crossover, and you know, and sometimes you'll be interested to see the drivers that'll be backing off on the crossover and probably waiting, and that can go in your favour, but also against. It's a tricky one to do. You know, you've got to judge it. Yeah. At least with this figure of 8 over the other figure of 8s that you can use on Retfest, you can actually see the oncoming traffic. Some of the ones you struggle to see them.
That's true. One advantage you have got though on this, with it being a game, as we've already mentioned numerous times, you've got a little radar down in the corner of your screen. So even if you can't see the car coming, you can still see that dot coming, and that'll give you an idea as to whether you're going to get a hit or not. As we've already mentioned, I'm a bit of a chicken, and my tactic is to ease off as we go across the crossover. But if you're in a pack of cars, you can't really do that, can you? So if you ease off, you're just going to get pushed across.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're trying to kick Ollie out again. I don't know what the issue is with Ollie. They're not. Yeah, there's something going on there. I don't know whether maybe his car's failed scrutineering or something, but they're trying to remove him from the lobby. We might try and find out what the issue is there for you, so we know. Maybe they're just trying to hurry him up.
Maybe
some of these lads are trying to get finished so they can watch the repeat of X Factor or whatever's been on tonight. It looks like the same drivers that are trying to kick him again. I don't know what the crack is.
Maybe they just wind him up. You never know. Could
possibly.
Just be a wind up.
We'll stay well out of there. So how it's going to work tonight, with the lobby being full and my co-commentator not being in, you're going to hear my voice throughout the race, and then more of my co-commentators after the race. He's going to give us his view on what happened and who he thinks the driver of the race was, and so on and so forth. We'll do our best. It's not going to be the easiest tonight with just one camera on the track. They're going for the kicks on Ollie. I don't know. There's nothing been put up in the driver briefing, so I don't know quite what the problem was there. But so the drivers should be lining up. One of them's just absolutely pole-axed me there, which is very nice of him. I'll reset my car so that he can move his. I'll put mine out of the way behind this little barrier, and then we will jump on board with whoever is starting at the front of the yellows, which looks like it's going to be LR492 for this one. Oh, we are on board with him, that's why I can't find him. Okay, so we might go and stand where the spectators are standing for this one. Looks like the grid is all ready to go. And off they go. A fast rolling start, which we noted last week, and Liam Rose is now way into the lead. The rest of the whites have all been taken out on first corner. The two yellow tops have got through. Liam Rose is nicely out in front, nice comfortable lead. Marcus in second place with H-Man in third. He's coming across. As you can see from the cars spreading out now, as the race goes on, Liam Rose is going to find it tricky to try and get across the crossing. I think he's just slowed down a little bit there to try and get across, which is good for him, it works, but that's allowed Marcus to catch up slightly in second place. That's Sean Bowman into fourth place there, starting off in the blues, so start to see some speed from him that we obviously didn't see last week with him not turning up. Liam Rose is definitely being caught by Marcus. He's got to cross the crossover. Richard Smith is down in last place at the moment, caught up on that armour fencing there at the top. Liam Rose still in first. Marcus coming under attack now from H-Man in third. That's Harley Spencer. Harley Spencer's put him away on the corner, going around corners 3 and 4, I think we'd call that. Liam Rose still in the lead, going on to lap 5, so he's at third race distance. Harley got that corner a bit wrong there in second. He nearly tipped his car. Well, Liam Rose also doing similar. Richard Smith could come into play now. He's a lap down, remember. 14th place, and this is looking very hairy on the crossover. Is he going to get through? He's timed that wrong. That's going to allow H-Man into the lead, so that's Harley Spencer now into first place. See if we can jump on board with him. We are on board with him now. He comes through in first place. Richard Smith looks like he's trying to go for a shot on Harley, but he's got it all wrong. Rubber ducks going here, there and everywhere on top of his car. Again, he's going to get lucky on the crossover there, Harley. He's timed that very well. Marcus in second place. The early leader is now into 5th place. He's dropped down. Harley's still well out in the lead though, coming up to lap Grant Lever there. Grant down in 13th place. This is tricky on the crossover. He's going to get done. That's going to allow Marcus, I think, through into the lead. It does allow Marcus through into the lead. Let's jump on board with Marcus, if we can find him. There he is. And he now leads the way. Yellow top, and he's just been done on the crossover. That car going through there is Richard Smith. He's a lap down. Sean Bowman into second place, and the current world champion Ollie into third as well. He's right behind second place, positioning himself nicely for a possible win here. Marcus has gone wide there, courtesy of Cross, and Sean Bowman coming in to try and take him out. Sean Bowman's risked it on the crossover, and that's what we was talking about earlier on. Marcus there easing off to allow the cars on the crossover to get through. Sean Bowman went for the risky cross, and it didn't pay off for him, and Marcus has got that lead back that he had earlier on. Liam Rose is right on the outside of the track there. Things have gone from bad to worse for him. He led the first third of the race, and he's now well down the order. Marcus is controlling this very nicely. If you look down in third and fourth, though, you've got Jim and Terry in third and fourth. They're coming up very quick on these leaders. And again, providing they don't get stopped on the crossover, it's going to be an interesting end to this race, I think. Marcus there through. Again on the crossover, he's gone very wide though. That's going to allow Jim possibly to have an attack on the inside, but Sean is also there on the inside. Sean says, thank you very much, I'll have second place back off Jim. Jim still in third and Terry in fourth. Terry's sat in a nice position to potentially capitalise. He's going for an attack on Jim. Marcus still in first place. Sean in second. Jim going up the inside of Sean, and Terry going up the inside as well. Terry's putting an attack in on Jim. He's in second. They've both spun out. I think that's Grant Lever at the back there. Jim is now facing the wrong way on the crossover, so that's gone badly for him. So it's going to be between the top 3 now, and Marcus has been taken out on the crossover. That's going to give Terry... Oh, we've lost the action. Terry and Sean Bowman there in first and second place, so we're right on board with these two. We're going to try and get that camera back up at the top so that we can see the action. This is going to be a really tight finish to the race. Terry and Sean both attacking each other. They've both been hit on the crossover. Terry's come off worse. That's going to allow Sean into first place on lap 14 of 15. And he's across now. He's got a nice lead over Marcus. He doesn't really need to attack these crossovers quite as much as he has been doing throughout the race, but we'll see what options he has. There's quite a few back markers as well. There's Matt, who we had a word with earlier. Is he going to do anything to stop Sean? I don't think he is. looks like Ollie might be in second, but he's actually a lap down in 10th place, and it's going to be Sean taking the first race. So he didn't win the Grand National last week, but he's come back after a little break and won on his first race out. Marcus second, Terry third, Jim in fourth, recovering from getting stopped on the crossover. Looks like it's going to be Harley Spencer coming home in fifth, and in sixth place, that's Evan now. Lost track of who that is. I think that is Gillen. And seventh is going to be Craig Thompson. That's not a bad position for Craig. Eighth is Grant. Ninth is going to be Thomas Andrews. And 10th is Matt Barnard. And our world champion finishing down in 11th. That's a shame for him. He's going well at the early stages of that race. Sean, have you managed to catch up with us?
Yes, I've caught up. What a race! What a race there. It was. There was a couple of people there. I thought, oh, they've clear and got it there. I thought Liam Rose was away and clear and got caught on the crossover. As did Marcus as well. Came unlucky to the crossover. I think some of them have been a bit brave going flat out through there. You know, like we were saying earlier, I'm quite touchy on the crossover and sometimes backing off. I think maybe some of them need to take that tactic because they are going flat out and that is costing them time. I think and a fantastic win for Bowman there because we had no idea how quick he was going to be. Obviously, you know, we knew he had a few wins under his belt already. A definitely impressive showing from him. You know, you're especially puts you in a good stead for the rest of the night as well as you win the first heat.
Yeah, definitely. He's showing pace on this track, and I thought maybe his race was over when Jim and Terry caught him. They both tried to get up the inside of him on that last corner, going round to start the sort of the final laps. But he managed to pull away from him again. I think Jim got a little bit unlucky on the crossover, which isn't completely his fault. But yeah, I think really good race there. So it shows there could be a lot of action come this championship race. I think it really is anybody's.
Yeah, it's probably maybe more like a DD more than a stock car race, but it's good fun to watch.
So we're starting on board with Craig here for Heat 2. They're getting ready to go again. And I think they've all settled down, they've all stopped, so it wouldn't surprise me if we see them going now. And Stocks Carter's got a fast start, they do a very quick rolling lap. I've got a feeling they might be doing clutch starts here because they really go for it off the start. You can see Stock Cart there has put Liam Rose away early on, and Craig's getting lent up by Stock Cart. He's getting stuck in. That's allowed Harley through into first place, but Craig says no, he's coming through as well. He's taking it back. Craig is putting up a big fight here, and Richard Smith has gone through, and it looks like we might have Marcus back into the lead. We'll jump on board with Marcus. Marcus has been taken out as well. Crikey, all sorts of action going on here at the front. So we've still got Stocks Car out in front. We're currently on board with Gillen, and Gillen is in fourth place. He's been battling with Sean Bowman, winner of the first race, who looks like he's in a nice place. Harley and Stocks Car are busy taking each other out. I'd suggest that's probably not the best of tactics at this point. I mean, you obviously want to be in first place, but if you're trying to fight with someone... Sean Bowman been taken into the fence by Harley as well. He's taking no prisoners today. Maybe he wants that Entertainers Award for this meeting. But that's going to allow Gillen out in front. Gillen out in front. Pronunciation is terrible. And Harley now through into first place. We'll switch that to Harley. He looks like he's not in a compromising mood tonight, and it's paying off for him at this point. Sat in first place. We've crossed in second place, and Craig Thompson still hanging on to third, but coming under attack from Terry Hawkins there in fourth. Further down the field, we have Jim in fifth, but Jim's a fair way behind, and he's battling with winner of Heat 1, Sean. And Harley got hit on the crossover there, but it didn't really affect him. It looked like Cross went in for a shot on him, but missed. He could get him coming out of this corner. Cross has gone for that. Oh, that's an interesting line there, taken from Stocks Cart. I think that was a repaid favour from earlier on there. That's going to allow Crofts into first place, if we can find Crofts. Here he is. He's currently under attack from Terry in second. And they're coming up to Liam Rose, who's a lap down. Liam Rose, I don't know whether he's waiting for them or whether he's waiting for the crossover there. You'll notice he keeps clipping that inside curb. That is not a good idea on this sort of a track because it just puts two wheels in the air and you cannot get it round the corner. So Cross is wondering what to do here with Terry behind him. He's let Terry through. Is he going to try and come back at Terry? I'd suggest it's probably his best idea, but it's not worked out for him, and the crossover has worked out for him. He's back into first place. A good race here between the white top and the red top. As they come back across the crossover, they're not going to get taken out this time. But Cross has gone for an interesting line, and the two bike markers have taken Terry out there. That's going to allow Jim through into second place. Terry's still in third though. Ollie Spencer is a lap down. He looks like he's in second, but he's actually a lap down. So we're going on to lap 10, so 2/3 race distance. Cross has got this one under control with Jim catching up, I'd suggest. This stage of the race, though, it can be very difficult to try and catch someone up, especially if they're getting the look on the crossover, which at the moment, Crofts is. So Ashley Cross still in first place, being followed by Jim. Jim Slatter in second place. And Cross has not got the look this time on the crossover. That's going to allow Jim to come up the inside of him, and Jim spun him out. No messing from Jim. So that puts Jim through into first place now. We're going to try and jump on board with Jim. Here he is. He is well out in the front at this stage. Matt Barnard, who we spoke to earlier, doing a lot better in this race, through into second place. Possibly taking some of our advice on this race. I don't think he's going to catch Jim, though. It's going to take someone stopping him on the crossover. I think it looks like we might get it here. Oh, Jim just slowing off nicely there. You saw he just eased off coming up to that crossover. And he's in a commanding position. Craig Thompson there, still in second place. That's a much improved performance from most of his races last week. Jim taking a nice wide line. You see the markings on the track. They aren't made by the racers necessarily. They're made, pre-made before the race. That's to try and give you some idea of the line to take. And Jim seems to be following them lines perfectly. Although he has just been done on the crossover. It's not affected him too much though. He rode that hit very well. Craig still sat there in second place. And Ashley Crofts in third. He's under attack from Grant Lever. He's going on to his last lap now, Jim Slattery. I don't think anything's going to stop him unless Richard fancies a hit here. He's managed to get through. Richard, will he go for a shot? No, he's not done. That's interesting. Liam Rose is nearly wrecked there on the top. Will Jim get across? He has just got across. Jim's going to take the win there. Possibly Craig Thompson coming home in second place. That'd be a really good result for him. He's currently grass tracking. But Ashley Cross is a long way back in third. And Sean Bowman, is he going to recover to get third? Sean Bowman gets third. Ashley Cross fourth. Grant Lever in fifth. Matt Barnard in sixth, which is disappointing considering he was up to second at one point. Terry in seventh. Marcus in eighth. Gillen in ninth place. Again, he was going well early on. And Harley, the hard-hitting lad from earlier on, he finishes in 10th.
Well, that was another classic, that, wasn't it? Fantastic racing up front, or throughout the whole grid. Some interesting hits going in. There was an interesting one from Thomas Andrew where the steering broke, maybe. It's questionable.
Definitely.
But definitely livening things up a bit there, and Jim Slatter showing why he's a masterclass over a lot of these lads.
He just seemed to drive nicely round there. I mean, you see on there his lap times are massively quicker than anyone else's, but he was just... I don't like using the word smarter, but he was definitely driving smarter than most of the other drivers out there when it was coming to the crossover.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Bowman there with a third place. I mean, a good finish for him in that one. Craig, second place. I think that's pretty decent for him. Especially seeing after last week, he was sort of hit and miss. So he's interested to see him back up there. It is very unlucky. It was unlucky from Matt Barnard in that one because I thought he was going very well. Like you said, listen to some of your advice, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we're going into 25 laps of the European. Have we learnt anything from the first two races? We are getting reports from some of the viewers that you're going a bit quiet in places, mate, but I don't know how we can
Whether that's
we
just
can
because they
sort
can't
that.
hear
I
me
mean,
during the race.
Yeah, during the race, Sean is staying quiet because obviously Sean's stream isn't up to date with what's actually happening, so that's why he's going quiet during the race.
Yeah, so
Hopefully,
there
you
was
can
no
hear
space
him
for me.
between the races. If there is a problem with the volume, please say. But yes. So yeah, have we learnt anything from the first two races? Do we know who's going to win this?
No, anyone's game really. I think the most consistent, so far, it's definitely got to be Sean Bowman, with a first and a third place there. So he's definitely
Yeah.
probably the man to look out for.
And he starts inside row 3.
So
that would make
puts him in
sense to
good
me
place.
that he's got a good chance to win this, definitely. Obviously, Jim's going to be up there at the end of the race, providing his car's still running. He's going to be there or thereabouts. I think Terry's shown good pace in both races, but potentially got unlucky in both races as well. He seems to get up to the top and then get taken out. So maybe he can change his luck in this one. But I think in that race particularly, the one that surprised me was Craig Thompson showing a bit of pace there to come home in second place. We didn't really see that side of him last week, I don't think, apart from the first race, as we've already mentioned.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the rest of the night, like we said, he's just spent the rest of the night upside down, pirouettes, at the burger van, at the ambulance, in the crowd. He wasn't on the track anyway. So
Yeah.
I think it's good to see him up there. I mean, this is 25 laps, so this is going to be about keep consistent, watch your pace off over the crossover, because you're going to want to watch your health, because as you're going across that and you get some pretty big hits, you ain't coming back from that at all.
No, I think we have had one driver not make it to the start of this final, which is a shame. And I believe it's our world champion, Ollie Spencer. Possibly some engine problems in the pits. But he's not turned up. As you can see, them all trying to line up now in order. We'll see how well they do, and I'm not sure how they're going to deal with Ollie Spencer being missing. Richard Smith there on the outside of the first row. Craig Thompson inside second row. It should be Harley on the outside of Craig, but I'm pretty sure that's Harley in 6th. I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll leave them to it, though. I'm sure they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think this should be a good one. And look forward to seeing this one. I mean, will we see, British and European from Luke Smith maybe? But or do we
I'd
think
suggest
someone
not
else?
based on the pace he's had so far today, and I don't want to be too harsh, but he's not really been up there, has he?
No, not at all.
But we'll see. We'll see. He could surprise us all. I think we could see a few wreck cars in this one. And unlike the real racing, if we do see a wreck car, then we're not going to see waving yellows out or anything like that. Drivers will carry on going and have to avoid that wreck car. That could cause some problems for these drivers. They probably won't have had to deal with that too much in the real life racing. And off they go for the rolling lap. Potentially. Oh no, there's still a problem at the back there.
Well, as we go into this one, my favourite definitely being Sean Bowman. He's definitely the favourite for me. We'll see if the commentator's curse has him.
there's a timer suddenly started on the right, which is really making me nervous here. I don't know what that's all about. It's about to hit 0. I'm hoping it's not going to go off. You can see the drivers rolling. It's a very interesting rolling lap. Stock Carts has come away with first place, so that's Thomas Andrews into first place. Craig Thompson currently in second place, being put under pressure from Sean Bowman, and third place is Harley, fourth is Grant Lever, and sixth is still Richard Smith. So Thomas still there. He's got a nice lead over Sean Bowman, but that's a really good start from Sean Bowman. If he can get past Thomas, that could be a good start for him. Craig Thompson has suddenly slowed down on the start-finish line there. Potentially a problem for him. I don't know what's gone on there. Maybe it looks like there's a lot of cars pulling off. this could be a restart. I think we could see a restart here. You can see a lot of the drivers are heading back round to the start. I think they've managed to fire up the engine of Ollie Spencer in the pits, and I think he might be joining us. I think that could be the issue. But we'll see. We'll see what the crack is. We'll try and find out. I will put a message through to race control now and find out what happened.
So a bit of a false start by the looks of things there. For maybe we're just waiting on Ollie Spencer. Hopefully he can make it. Just having another look at the grid, I think it's going to be interesting. I just keep looking through the grid and you're thinking who's going to get it, and it could be anyone. From the front row.
The official word from the starters there is that there's going to be a complete restart. I'm not sure who messed up on that previous start, but the race marshals know what we're doing, so we're going to leave them to it, and we'll have another start. It's a shame, really, for I think it was Thomas Andrew that got a good start on that one. He'll be very disappointed. And I don't know, have you ever been in a situation where you've been off the front on a closed grid, Sean?
Yes, I have. I have. Not on this game, but on previous games I have. And so, it's tense. It's very tense.
Yeah. So having to do that start twice, how is he going to be feeling second time round? He got away clean on the first one, so he knows he can get away clean again. We'll get this drone straight. But in the back of his mind, I know personally, in the back of my mind, I'd be thinking it's going to happen. Something's going to go wrong, and that previous good start I got, and we're going to see they're straight off again, and he's been put out wide, and Richard Smith's away into first place, and Thomas has already dropped down to fourth, and he's just been taken out. So, kind of as we were saying there, things have not gone well for the lad. And Richard Smith, surprise leader at this early stage in first place. Harley in second, and Ashley Crofts in third. Grant Lever in fourth, and Jim Slatter's made a good start into fifth. Sean Bowman with another good start up into sixth place at this early stage. Richard Smith getting a bit giddy there. He's gone wide, coming out of turns 1 and 2. Ashley Crofts right up behind him now in second place. He's going to put him under pressure coming out here. They shouldn't get stopped on the crossover, but Matt Barnard is all over the place there. He's a lap down. I think he's got lost with where he was going there. That is not a good start for him. Ashley Crofts now through into first place, so we will switch the action to him. He's got a nice lead at this stage. If he can get across this cross, and he has done, that's going to put him in a good position going forward. Sean Bowman's made his way up into second place, and Grant in third. Where has Jim gone? Jim's dropped down to fifth. Oh, he's back up to fourth now. Ashley with a nice lead though at this early stage. We're just passing the fifth marker of the race. We've done 5 laps, so another 20 to go. And he's just done an 18.8, which is probably the fastest lap of the meeting from what I've seen. But he has just been done on the crossover. Can he survive? Can he keep it going? Sean Bowman is now a lot closer to him in second place. And Matt Barnard, just to remind you, is a lap down. Ashley Crofts has lost it a little bit. He's up on the grass. Matt Barnard's unlapped himself now. So Matt Barnard's now back onto the lead lap. If he can keep it going. He didn't take out the leader, which was very nice of him. The leader looks like he might be trying to take Matt out, and he's gone wide there. That was an interesting move. Probably not one I'd suggest is the best of moves. But he has got across the crossing well. Sean Bowman just sizing up these opportunities there in second place. Jim well down the order in third, and he's just been taken out by Harley. Harley really putting the bumper in. I think if there's an entertainer's award for this meeting, that he's dead cert for it. Ashley Crofts holding first nicely. Sean Bowman, though, keeping up with him, and I think Sean Bowman went in for a shot there. Ashley read it and went on the inside to avoid it, but he's been taken out by a couple of the back markers, and that's going to leave Sean through into first place. If we can find him. Here we go. He's now got a nice lead on second place. Already, Craig Thompson has wrecked his car. You can see Craig's car is rolling back onto the track there on the exit of turn 2. that is not a good place to be wrecked. Jim into second place, Harley in third. Terry is nearly a lap down there. And he's now on his roof. Not a good race for Terry Hawkins. I don't know what's happened to him as the race has gone on. But that was, yeah, not the race he was hoping for today. Sean Bowman in a nice position, though, to maybe take this one. Jim doesn't seem to be catching him. I think Jim's getting a lot of attention from some of the back markers. Grant Lever just been done on the crossover. I think Richard Smith is trying to get back the right way, but he keeps doing people on Oppo. I don't think he's deliberately trying to do people on Oppo there. I think he's just been stopped on the crossover and he's trying to get back the correct way. Marcus has put it in reverse there and gone into Sean. I think he was resetting at that point. I think that he mustn't have counted his lap, so he's trying to get back to where he's supposed to be. Liam Rose takes out the leader. That's going to leave Jim with a chance to get through to first place. Jim goes into the side of Sean. And Jim now takes up the lead. We'll jump on board with Jim. This is turning into an interesting race between these two. Jim has managed to get through that crossover and Sean's been stopped. So all that luck that Sean had at the start on the crossovers is now coming back to haunt him. Jim's going to have a struggle getting across the crossover here. And he has been done by the current British champion there. And that's going to allow Sean back into the lead. The cameraman is really earning his paycheck tonight. I should really by now know who's who on the number list. That leaves Sean in first place, Harley in second place. Harley's really close actually, and Ashley Crofts in third. We could be on the verge here of a surprise winner if one of them two can catch Sean. Liam Rose there, not much in the way of health left on his car. I'd expect to see him wrecked in the next lap or two. And Sean's now pulled out that much of a lead on Jim that he's actually meeting him on the crossover. So that just goes to show how much this race can change in the space of one lap. He has got a commanding lead, Sean, but this race could change at any moment. If it does, Harley is positioned nicely. Ashley Crofts actually now taking up second place. Harley, it looks like a good battle for second. Sean is keeping it nice and steady in first place. He's starting to use his head, I'd suggest now. He's got a good lead over Harley. He doesn't need to push the crossovers, and that is a dream when you're driving, when you come up to that crossover and there's absolutely no one coming up to it. That is what you want to see, especially when you're leading the European Championship. So he comes up behind Thomas now. Thomas potentially feeling a bit aggrieved after that first restart. He went very well on that first start, only to see his dreams potentially shattered. Is he going to try and take Sean out? He's not done, no, he's driving very nicely there, very politely. You can see there Sean now coming up. It looks to lap Jim Slatter, which is interesting. I mean, it was only 4 or 5 laps ago that Jim was challenging for the lead. I think he did actually get the lead at one stage. So Sean now coming up to lap Gillen. Is Gillen going to try and stop Sean? It looked like he potentially did, but he didn't make a good job of it. And he's way too far back now to affect him in this next corner. Going really well here, Sean. I'm very impressed by his driving. Taking it nice and steady. There's Grant Lever there backing off the infield. He must have been hit on the crossover again. And you see he just eased off there. That was Ashley Crofts going through the crossover. He's in third. So at this stage you'd say it's between Sean in first and Harley in second. Although Harley is a long way back in second. So Sean can afford to slow down going across these crossovers. And the ones that he could potentially hit on the crossovers are the ones in second and third. So, oh, he only just got that one right. That will be beneficial to him going forward here, because he should now be able to clear Ashley Crofts every time. Although this time he's taking his time. He's got 3 laps left at this point. We're on lap 23 of 25. Harley just been stopped on the crossover. Harley hasn't quite got the same luxury as Sean. He can't really slow down on the crossovers because he's trying to keep the pressure on Sean. Sean coming around, like I said, that's Jim Slatter in front of him and Gold Matt. So he is now lapped up to 5th place. Everyone up to 5th place has been lapped. Harley's just been done on the crossover. This is looking like Sean's race to lose at this point. Lots of cars in front of him, but if they're in front of him, it means they're not going to be stopping him on the crossover. We have also lost now Thomas and Terry and Liam Rose. We're on last lap at this point. Sean just needs to keep his head at this stage. He doesn't need to overtake anyone he doesn't want to. He can just stay behind Matt Barnard and follow him to victory, hopefully. And here he comes. The checkered flag's out, and your European champion on Xbox Wreckfest V8 series is Sean Bowman. 3-2-4. What a drive that was. Coming home in second place is Harley. He'll be happy with second place, but at the same time, nobody likes finishing second. And third place, Ashley Crofts. So a really interesting podium there for your European champion. Jim Slatter, possibly the favourite beforehand, finished fourth. And man for the big occasions, Luke Smith, finishing there in fifth place. Sean, carnage.
Yeah, there's that's a good way of putting it. But it's shown that Bowman had it calm and collective, and I was right going in. Like I said, he was definitely my favourite going into that. He just showed a consistency in the heats, and it just showed it there. Never really been too phased on the crossover, taking his time, and obviously when he had a clear track, he was fast. Because that's what it's about. This track, it's about being consistently fast, but also taking your time. If you get took out, they're going to be back on you, and you could be a lap down yourself. Rather than at the end there, it looked like he's probably a whole corner ahead of H-Man there at the end. So very impressive.
Definitely, yeah. We're just inviting Sean in for a chat, so we'll get him in and we'll get him to share his audio.
Fantastic.
And we'll hopefully try and find his perspective of the race. You're right, Sean. Have you selected to allow your audio? This is
Should
a
be in the
family show,
party.
isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
just
the
give
one,
that a
mate.
tick.
Yeah, click that.
Go.
Awesome.
There we go.
Okay, if anyone in the chat can confirm that they can hear Sean speaking. So well done, mate.
Thank you very much.
How did you find
There's a bit
that?
of carnage.
It was, yeah, there was cars everywhere there.
Yeah, a bit dodgy with the old crossover, and then get followed in and hit head on back from lap down. But
yeah, I think
it
a
was
lot
brilliant.
of those though were drivers that had been done themselves and were trying to get back the right way. I don't think anybody was deliberately going for a head on.
No.
But you seem to have a good battle with a few drivers early on. But I'd say probably from lap 15 onwards, you controlled the race pretty well.
Well, yeah, Jimbo, he's pretty nifty on it. There's a few other lads that are pretty quick. They're always there. Normally Ollie Spencer's there, but he had a power cut apparently.
Right, mechanical issues.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good laugh. To be fair, it's a bit of a change up having it on figure of 8. I'm not sure it would go down too well if we did it in real life.
Well, we just
No, I
said that
think there'd be
before.
a lot of
something we
expensive
said
machinery
before.
damaged.
Yeah, the old man had slapped me silly if I wrecked it on a figure of 8. Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good laugh, good race to be fair. But yeah, it's a shame we're not doing it
you
for
were my
real.
favourite into that one. Going into
really?
that one,
Thank
yeah. Well, you consistent in the heats, and with a first place and a third. No one else seemed to show that they had probably the pace to be up there throughout the whole race. Other than yourself, you seem to take your time over the crossover more than
Oh,
others.
definitely, you got to. Otherwise, you get. In the heats, I just kept going. I got T-bone and kept going. I don't know how I get onto it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at that Ashley Croft, he's pretty sharp on it as well. He's pretty quick. I was surprised he didn't get away, but I had to go for him when I could.
Yeah, I think you made the right decision. To be fair, but once you got away though, you was away.
Yeah.
So now as you've won it on the Xbox, what's the chances of winning it on the actual track?
Oh God. I mean, I don't even know where our European's supposed to be this year.
I must confess, neither do I. So
No.
if you don't know, then I've got no chance.
Yeah. I mean, more of a tarmac racer. I've only raced tarmac for a couple of years now. I'd say if it was at Skegness dry, it'd be fine. I mean, world final for us last year, we pissed it down. And I thought, you know what, from the back I might be able to take my time a bit, and I just got absolutely nailed from the start.
Right.
Wrecked the car completely. I mean, I got hit by just about every car on the track, I think. I mean, I'll come back out the paramedics hut, and
half the cars were on the infield.
Oh, crikey.
All right,
Well,
so-
if you're going to reckon in one race, it's got to be
Oh,
in
you
the World
got
Final, hasn't
Take them all out, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think if it was, I mean, Hensford, we did alright in the British. Engine was playing up year before last. No, it was last year. I think I got 5th or 6th. 5th, I think. So, you know, the car goes well, and I'd like to say I'm quite consistent at times, but like I said, in the wet, it's bloody nowhere.
it? Right.
So, luckily on this
Well,
game,
look, you
you
don't have to worry
wet,
about
you
the
only
wet
get
on
internet issues.
No. Maybe more of a shell racer on the Xbox.
Oh, yes. I'm getting voted to kick now. They've had enough of me.
You are getting voted to kick, so we'll let you get going, mate, and hopefully you pick up a Grand National win, because we know you're the king of the Grand
we do
Nationals.
like it. Do love a national. They'll all try and take me out though, but
You'll be starting a lap down, won't you, in this one?
oh, how do we do that? We didn't do a rolling lap last time.
I don't
I'll just
know,
go to the
but
back.
I'll leave you to that. And see what you do. And
Righto,
wish you all
thank
the
you very
best.
much. Cheers.
No worries, mate.
Catch you in a bit.
Ta, mate. So he's very happy
So
there.
they're very, very happy. You never know.
As
This
I
might
think he
this might
probably
be his
will be.
only European Championship this year. With how
It might be
the real
the
world's
only
going on.
European Championship in full stop, mightn't it? You know, in any class, to be fair.
Yeah. So. Well, no, I
no, he
enjoyed
took
watching
that win
race.
very well.
Yeah, very well. He wasn't. He wasn't one of those sort of things. That, is he going to get it? You know, with 5 laps to go, you're thinking even if he gets taken out here, there's a good chance that he could still regain himself because he had that far of a lead. It was a nice buffer zone for him. I think you can sort of take your time a little bit more when you know you've got that time from second place.
Yeah.
You don't want to be. If they're out and you're chuff, you're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing, and you make more mistakes when you're doing that.
You try and
you know.
make every crossover, don't you?
Yeah.
I was watching, keeping a keen eye on Harley in second place, and he was trying for every crossover, and you got to do that when you're in second place in the European. But it just wasn't paying off for him. He kept getting tangled with cars coming through. Which was a shame for him, but we're lining up now for the Grand National by the looks of things. Get ourselves retired up. Who do you think's the favourite for this one then, Sean? I mean, normally we would say Sean Bowman, wouldn't we? But with him being a lap down, I think it's possibly going to be someone different. Ollie Spencer is back in the meeting.
Well, if he can keep his
managed to
technical
recover.
difficulties, if he can, as long as he sorted that out, hopefully he might do well. It'd be nice to see maybe Harley get a win here, maybe. A bit of redemption,
I think he
from,
deserves
especially being starting from white here. He's got a good chance. So I think that could be good.
See Sean there lining up at the front of the whites.
Yeah, so
So he's going to be a lap down, and off they go. A very quick start again. Craig Thompson takes up the lead and straight away tries to spin out Sean Bowman, and he's going again. He's not interested in letting Sean get going. I don't think I'd be tangling with the lad who's a lap down myself, but Craig is going for it. We are on board with Thomas. We didn't bother changing to Craig, and it's a good job because Craig is now tangling with Sean, and Sean's taking him out. Craig's taking Sean out. That's an interesting start. He's a lap down now. Looks like they're all taking him out. I think his prediction that he was going to get taken out by everyone racing was probably quite correct. Thomas is a commanding lead now over Ollie in second place, and Ashley in third. Looks like Ollie could be carrying a bit of speed round here, which will mean that he's very disappointed to have missed out on the European. Thomas has been taken out by Marcus on the crossover. That's going to allow Ollie and Ashley through into first and second. And see if we can jump on board with one of them. Here we go with Ashley. Sean battling back through. Remember, he is a lap down still. And he's now being taken out by Ollie. They're not letting him go. I think if Sean did manage to get free, they've both been taken out on the crossover, Sean and Ollie and Ashley Crofts. That's allowed Terry into the lead. We're going to try and switch to Terry as quick as we can. Terry's got a really commanding lead, and he's now being taken out by Gillen, who's a lap down also. This has turned into carnage, this race. I think now as the Europeans out the way, the drivers are no longer protecting the cars, and they're putting them to good use here. This is really entertaining stuff. Terry has been just tagged over the crossover. Gillen went in for a shot and missed. Terry survived. Ollie's still in second place there, with Grant Lever in third. And Terry's managed to get a bit of space between him and Gillen, and I think he's going to be through and away now. What can Ollie do down in second? Ollie can go wide, and that's going to allow Grant through into second place. But the crossover's going to slow down second and third and allow Terry to get, again, a commanding lead. I don't know what Thomas is doing there. Stock carts, he's all over the place. Terry still leading this race. He's got a nice lead. He's not had a good couple of meetings as the points leader, so he'll be looking to win this one to try and keep that points lead he currently holds over Jim Slatter. Jim down in fourth as we speak. Terry now coming on to lap 9 of 15. He's up behind Richard Smith. We know what sort of driver Rich can be, so he'll be very tentative going past him. That's Ashley is now lapping. I don't know what's happened to Ashley. Ashley showed some really good speed in the European, but Ashley's now a lap down on the leader. As the leader comes across, he starts lap 10 now, so 2/3 race distance. And second place is Grant Lever, V8 Grant. He is way down, at least half a lap down on our current leader. And Jim Slatter up into third place. I think that's more a case of all the others have been taken out, though, more than anything. Sean Bowman has made his way up to 11th from a lap down, but it's very tricky at this stage to work out where the drivers that are a lap down are. Terry's coming up to the back of Stock's cart, who is in 6th place. So we nearly have, in fact, Stock's cart's now in 5th, so Terry's nearly at 5th place at this point. Grant Lever still in 2nd, and Matt Barnard now up to 3rd place, with Jim Slatter in 4th. And Liam Rose, who we can see in front of Terry, has just gone wide actually, so Terry's now lap 5th place. There's only 3 more drivers in front of him that are on the same lap. So at this stage, I think he needs to get that foot down and try and lap them. At least then if he does get stopped on the crossover, he's got plenty of time to get the car the right way. That is Grant going across in 2nd place there, nearly taking out the leader. So you can see how much of a lead he's got with 2 laps left to go. Lots of action on this crossover. Terry through once more onto lap 14, so 2 full laps left to do. Grant still in 2nd and Jim in 3rd. It looks like a really good battle actually for 2nd place, that. Matt Barnard back up into 3rd, and as I speak, he's back down to 4th, and Jim Slatter back into 3rd. John Bowman, things aren't going quite as well for him in this one. I'm sure he won't care though, now as he's holding that red and yellow fin. And Terry through now onto his last lap. You can see he's taking things very slowly on the crossover. He's only lost a bar of health on that speed demon, which is really good. He must have hardly been hit. And he just needs to find a gap now to get through to take the win in the Grand National. That's a Grand National win for current points leader Terry. It looks like Jim Slatter's in 2nd place at the moment. Long way back though. We might try and jump on board with this. Here he is. He's now in 4th place as we speak. Matt Barnard gets 2nd. Grant Lever in 3rd and Jim Slatter in 4th. And we've got Marcus down in 5th. We'll see if we can find Marcus. Here's Marcus. You see he's a full lap down on the leader. Marcus coming across the line. Is he going to get across the line in 5th? He is going to get across the line in 5th with Thomas in 6th. Liam Rose is there. He's going to come across in 7th with Ashley Crofts in 8th. And that's going to leave Richard Smith to come across the line in 9th place, although we could get a nice photo finish here. He's only got a little bit of health left. Let's see who gets across the line first. It's actually Sean that gets across the line in 9th from a lap down, and Richard Smith in 10th. Sean,
Another good one
there in the Grand National.
Another good one, wasn't it?
Carnage, mate.
Another good. You literally, it's carnage for every race, isn't it, around here? It's not far off bangers. But
the mechanics have got the work costs out tonight. Definitely.
Oh, massively, yeah. Terry showing why he's the points leader. there in that one, and a blistering time there as well with an 18.6. I can't see. Oh, there's an 18.7 from Jumbo. So I'm surprised. So there's no one else that's close to him. I don't believe. I think it was it was so much going on in that one. Probably more than the European, really.
Yeah, it definitely looked that way. I mean, obviously that makes sense. Drivers in the European, they want to sort of keep the cars running in the hope that the leader gets taken out and they can maybe sneak the win at the end of the meeting. But that one, I think, was more a case of revenge shots, and it certainly looked that way, didn't it, as the racing went on?
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of big hits going in from everyone. No one was backing down. These lads might even be rougher than us.
I think they probably are, yeah. Of course, when you refer to us, you refer to our Banger League, don't you? And yes, these lads are getting really stuck in. I don't know what the crack is here. I'm going to get absolutely poleaxed off the start. I'm going to try and retire and hope that my car doesn't get in the way.
Oh well, that lasted.
We take the action up with Luke Rose in first place. Stick this point scorer on here. So basically, we're underway here. Lap 2 already of 15. We have a teams race, 6 on 6. Blue team versus red team. The teams are sorted by random. And how the points work is every time first place goes across the line, they get 9 points for the team, then 8 points, then 7 points, then 6 points, and so on. So you will see quite a lot of the drivers out rodding. You can see Terry's already out in the lead there. So he'll be picking up 9 points every time he crosses for his team, and so on and so forth. So currently the score stands at 61 or 62 to 48. You'll see quite a few drivers who are being designated blockers. Mentioned it last week. If you're new to this, try and think of the New Zealand teams. As you see, Craig Thompson, they're going in for a big hit on Terry, taking him out. And why? Terry's still in the lead though. Sean Bowman on a different team to Terry is now keeping Terry up against the wall to try and stop him from scoring points. Matt Barnard in second and Ollie in third. They're both on the red team, so Sean doing a really good job here of slowing down the leader to allow Matt Barnard and Ollie to catch up to the leader. Matt going in on him, pushing him wide. And Matt now through into first place. And Ollie doing a good job there, although he's been put in by Liam Rose. That gets rid of him, and Ollie is getting absolutely smashed there on that corner. Matt Barnard leading it now, but he's going to be put in by Terry. And Terry's back into the lead with Liam Rose in second. So these two now, first and second. It doesn't really matter who's in what position, because they're both scoring maximum points for their team. Matt Barnard in third, really close behind him. He's going to get done by Jim Slatter. Jim Slatter you usually see up there near the top, but he's actually a lap down doing some of the blocking work. You'll see him now up behind Terry. He's not going to take Terry out, I wouldn't have thought, because if he takes Terry out, his team won't be getting any points. So Terry and Liam Rose now doing a nice job of following each other. You see a driver coming off the back corner there to stop Liam Rose on the nose. That's done a good job of slowing them down. In fact, that was our current European champion, Sean Bowman, there, coming off the corner to take them too. So it's not really stopped them though. It's not really worked. The issue here is the third and fourth place, both on the red team, are that far back, and you see another one of the red team going on Oppo. Unfortunately, hit one of the blockers instead of hitting the rodders. When you hear me talk of blockers and rodders are the drivers that are out front leading, and you see a blue team member there taking out second place on the crossover. That won't have been intentional, but it's not good either in terms of the blue team winning this one, because it's going to allow Matt Barnard and Ollie Spencer into second and third, which could allow them to catch up. Points-wise, though, this is looking like a bit of a blue wash. 255 points to 173. I think the main problem for the red team here is that most of them have gone blocking, which has meant that even though second and third might be red team, first place is blue, fourth place is blue, and the following positions are all blue as well. Terry is just keeping the car moving nicely. He's going to be taken wide there by Thomas. See on the left, there's already 4 cars wrecked, so that's going to mean that there's a lot less cars trying to stop Terry. Thomas has gone in for a shot on Terry. That's worked quite well. That's going to allow Matt Barnard through, although Matt Barnard now a lap down, actually. So could we see Ollie Spencer? Where is Ollie Spencer? He's way down there. So even though Terry is getting stopped by the red team here, the second place man is nowhere to be seen. So the red team really need to box Terry in here if they want to see a red team winner. But even a red team winner is not going to get them the win they want, the desired win, which is the points win. Terry and Jim at least 1 lap down, probably 2 or 3 laps down by this stage, just doing a good job of blocking. Terry through again there. He's looking good for the win here, and it's actually his teammate Liam Rose in second place, so the blue team have definitely got this one in the bag, and it's just going to be a case of bringing it home now. I think the 3 left running for the red team, 4 left running for the red team, are all racing at this stage, and they could really do to be slowing down to try and stop the leaders. That score is nearly doubled now for the blue team over the red team. As Terry comes around, it looks like he's going to make it 2 out of 2 wins. He'll be happy with this result, but I'm sure at the same time he'll be disappointed he couldn't pull out the same result in the European. So that's Terry through for first place. Liam's going to come across for second. Ollie is going to come home to a respectable third place, no doubt. But as we mentioned, the only score that matters in this race is the score at the top, and that is 437 points to the blue and 295 to the red. So all those drivers racing for the blue team will pick up 6 points, and the drivers racing for the red team will pick up 0. So Terry's going to pick up 6, as will his closest competitor Jim. So that's not going to affect that too much in terms of the points there. But that sets it up nicely for what could possibly be a DD. We'll see how see whether they're doing the DD. Sean, you caught up?
Yeah, I'm still here. Well, Carnage probably just about as much as every other race. Terry will be very happy with those points to carry on his lead in the points. Because I can't fully remember on the points, but it's if I fully remember from last week, the winning team gets points in the national points. If I'm correct.
Yes, yeah. So those points do go towards national points, but
fantastic.
only those on the winning team.
Yeah, so he'll be happy with that, and again, a perfect drive from him there. So it's a shame he never got that well in the European, just getting so caught up in that race.
No, I mean he was well down on the European grid, and that's probably played a massive part in his results in the European. So I didn't actually see what happened to him in the European. Maybe when we check the replays later on, we'll see. But I'm sure he'll have been taken out on the crossover or something similar. So they're going to do a DD before we finish. And then I think we're going to have a quick chat with Liam Rose after the DD. And then that will be our coverage done for this evening. Now, did you check where we're at next in this current series?
I haven't. Have you? I haven't.
Unfortunately not.
I can see.
But all the information will be up as soon as possible. We'll let you know where we're at next. I presume it's going to be the same time as this week. And I think it's going to be another qualifying round for the Gold Roof title. As we start to sort of pass, I think we're definitely past the halfway stage of this season. So, drivers at this point will be trying to pick up points towards that qualifying for that Gold Roof, because certainly the drivers like Terry aren't going to want to start where they started tonight. They're going to want to start near the front so that they can get away and hopefully get a nice lead on some of the lower grade drivers.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely agree with that one. Seems a few of them seem to be changing into the gate crasher there. An interesting.
There is one gone for the Great Gate Crasher. There is a couple gone for a Grand Duke. So I think that's a change in rules from last week. One in a Wingman.
There's a lot in
one
Grand Dukes.
one in a Dominator. Dominator versus a Grand Duke. Do you fancy that battle, Sean?
No, you may as well not even race. I can tell you the result from here.
You only fancy that battle if you sat in the Grand Duke.
Yeah, you may as well just go sit. You may as well, if you're in the Dominator, mate, you may as well just go sit at the bar and leave the Dominator sat outside. That's your best bet with that one. Those Grand Dukes are solid. They've got lots of weight behind them.
Big cars, aren't they? This DD, of course, is not for points. This is just for blowing off steam at the end of the meeting. The lads are going to have a nice smash up, and it looks like the Dominator chap might have heard what we were saying. He's unreadied there. Is he changing car? He's not actually changing car. Oh, he has. No, he's stayed in the Dominator. Very brave. Very brave decision.
Very brave.
Retire early here and see if we can get the spectator going.
The interesting thing with those Grand Dukes is they're so big that they are a target as well, but with so many of them in this that probably very dominant.
Yes.
I'd be surprised if it's not a winner from them.
It would surprise me massively. The action's underway, but to try and call it at this early stage is going to be difficult. Matt Barnard, in his Dominator, is getting absolutely smashed on the infield. I can't see him lasting much longer, although he did do a good job there of avoiding Harley's shots. And he's just been hit again by Jim on the back straight there. He's down to 2 bars, Matt Barnard. I can't see him lasting. Liam Rose on his roof. Matt Barnard's going to go in for a shot on him. That is probably the best shot he could go for in the Dominator. But as you can see there, it caused absolutely 0 damage to Liam Rose. That's going to be Matt Barnard's problem. He's going to hit stuff, cause 0 damage to himself. It's just cause 0 damage to them, sorry, and get loads of damage himself. We could try and get our words out. Action on the top corner. Thomas on his side there. Thomas is going to get a shot from Ollie. No, he's not. Ollie's missed him. And Gold Matt has now managed to stabilise himself slightly there. So he's going to go in for a shot on Thomas. Marcus is chasing Gold Matt round. And surprisingly, it looks like Marcus is going to be the first car out. He is indeed. Is he? Yes, I believe he's the first car wrecked. Okay, so let's have a look who's doing well. Terry's doing well at the top there. He's got 3.5 bars left. He's currently chasing Ashley Crofts around the top. And Shadow Luke also doing well. He's got 4.5 bars left. So he could be one of the favourites to win this. Ashley's got 0 life left in his car. He's only going to take one more hit and that'll be done for him. Cars are starting to get a bit roddy now. They're sort of following the track round. Sean Bowman goes out there at the hands of Terry Hawkins. Luke Smith coming around again. He's still got 4 bars. And he seems to be doing more in terms of racing than actual wrecking. You can sort of understand it from some of these lads because they've got 0 health left. Harley's gone up top there. He's going to look for a big head-on possibly. It looks like nobody's interested though in a big head-on. Liam Rose has gone the wrong way. He goes in for a shot on Luke Smith and wrecks his own car but takes a lot off Luke Smith. And Terry and Luke go in for a big head-on. Them two are definitely the favourites for winning this one. And the car at the top there, Harley I think that was, has wrecked himself. He's decided he's had enough. So we're left with Ashley Croft, Terry Hawkins and Luke Smith. Ashley Croft is not going to win this one. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but I can certainly tell you with that much health left, he is not winning this one. It's going to be between Terry and Luke. Ashley Croft can still play a big part in who wins this one, because if Ashley Croft can give someone a big hit to wreck his own car, then it could give the other driver the advantage. Currently the advantage lies with Terry Hawkins, who has a slight health lead over Luke Smith. Terry Hawkins now going the wrong way. He's going to try and do Luke Smith by the looks of it, and he has done him, but it's taken more off himself. He hasn't quite got that shot right. Luke Smith now backing into Terry Hawkins on the top there. We're going to try and get over to where the action is. Ashley Croft is somewhere behind the action. He's still rodding around. He's going to have to be careful. He's going to have to hit something, otherwise he will time out. And his car will be left wrecked in the infield without actually having hit anything. A massive shot there goes in between Luke Smith and Terry. And Ashley Croft coming in here for a big shot on no one. Misses them both completely. He's still going though. I'm surprised as the timer hasn't wrecked his car yet. Maybe he has just glanced someone. He's now going to the infield. He's really trying to win this one. Terry chasing Luke Smith, and these have got a lot less health left than what they did originally. So they all chase Ashley Croft now. Terry missing Luke Smith there completely. Ashley Croft really trying his best to avoid these two here. I'm pretty sure in a real DD, one of these will be black flagged by now for racing around the track. Terry is held back, and Luke Smith's coming around the top. Is Ashley going to give him a big head on? No, but Terry's going to try. No, Terry misses both of them. Ashley Croft coming around the top here. And Luke Smith going in for a shot. He's missed him again. Terry's going in. No. There's quite a bit of sandbagging going on here. Sandbagging, of course, a term we use when drivers aren't wanting any hits. I think Ashley Croft is definitely sandbagging. You can kind of always wrecked himself on a park car. In his quest to avoid Terry there, he's hit a park car. Terry's going in for a big shot on Luke Smith. That has made it fairly even here. Terry giving chase to Luke Smith. He doesn't want Luke Smith to have a chance to turn around and get his speed up. If Terry can hit Luke Smith at speed, then that's going to take more health off Luke. This is where it's going to get a bit more random now. If Terry does make contact, which he hasn't. Let's see if Terry turns it round here. Will Luke turn it round? Terry has turned it around. I think Terry's definitely been the most aggressive driver towards the end of this DD. He definitely wants the contact more than the others, and he goes in again. And we're at the stage now where both drivers have got one hit left in them, and the game's going to decide basically who wins this one. You'd think Luke Smith, because he has got a little bit more health left, but sometimes the game does get a little bit random. We'll see how we go here. Don't forget, once we've got this DD out of the way, we will have a quick chat with Liam, I believe it was, that wanted a chat. Terry going in on Luke Smith, and yeah, it's giving it to Luke Smith. So that is your winner for the DD. Terry finishing second, and Ashley Croft in third. We'll give Liam a quick invite to the party. Sean, just before Liam gets in, DD?
Was that a race? It was a race. It was like all the
It
other
looked like
ones,
a
wasn't
race towards the end, didn't it?
Well, it's not far off from the rest of the races tonight, was it? Carnage.
Yeah, definitely. Hello, Liam. Have you clicked on at the top to allow your audio?
Yes, I have.
You have.
Awesome.
Okay, so if anyone in the chat can give us a thumbs up that they can hear Liam, that would be great. Did you enjoy tonight's meeting, mate?
Yeah, there was a good bit of racing going on by Terry and Ashley in the first few heats there. For myself, I didn't have much good luck at all. Controller was playing up in the first and second heat. Fine, in that European, I was just absolutely out. The controller was lagging. I had no luck at all. But managed to pull myself back in for the Grand National and in the team racing. Got myself second in the team racing and a seventh, I do believe, in the Grand National, which wasn't too bad.
Yeah. I think quite a few of them earlier races you were leading for some time, weren't you?
Yes.
You was going well in them, and you're deciding to blame the equipment though for the downfall.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a bit of rage quitting going on.
Driver's excuse there. We know how it is.
Oh yeah. Always blame the equipment. Always blame
Oh, yeah,
the
definitely.
outside rear tyre. That's the one that you always have to blame. Always this fault.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to blame the outside rear on a figure of 8.
Yes, you could say that. Not what we're all used to.
No.
No.
Something different?
no.
Yeah, I
Wouldn't,
wouldn't say
would
it'd
you?
be very good for the super stocks to do that.
No,
Of
no,
course, you're a
probably not.
Superstock driver, aren't you?
Yeah, we don't
No,
want
like,
super stocks doing that. We've already seen what happened to Declan Solomon at Great Yarmouth, went straight through the post and wire fence. So we
Yeah,
don't
they're
want
not-
any repeats of cars flying over the top of each other.
No, if doing hits like that, your car's going to be made like cheese when you do a hit
Yes,
across the
definitely.
crossover.
Have to buy myself a little banger and go out and try this banger racing, I think.
Yeah, I think you're definitely more suited to that from what I've seen so far, mate.
We'll take a banger out, see how that handles.
So, have the Superstocks had much chance to get out on track yet this season, mate? Or did you not get
This
any
season
meetings?
we've had Ipswich, and that was the first meeting, and we haven't been out since.
Right, okay. Now, did you get on it with Ipswich?
That was pretty good, actually. That was a fairly decent bit. We had a few teething problems as we just switched over to Z-Tech. So
Yep.
we're still getting there. Still loads of work to do.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, in this Brisca V8 E-Series, I believe we've got a grading this week, haven't we?
Yeah, there should be a grading, hopefully, because I
So,
do believe it's
are
every
you-
3
are you-
meetings.
Are you hoping to stay white top, or are you?
I'd like
would you
to go
prefer
up to
move
yellow.
back?
I would like
Yeah?
to go up to yellow, but I have a feeling after like, the first 2 meetings were okay, and then you just get into that last one. This meeting now, that was just that was it.
It is a bit random, isn't it, on that track? To be fair,
Yeah.
And you don't like using the L word, look, but that does play a part.
Yeah, that does
on
have
a
a
track
part
like
and
that.
stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
As you could see, I do believe in Heat 1 or something. I literally had to stop, and I got nailed by H-Man and all the rest of them straight in the back.
I mean, I was surprised. I mean, I called Bowman to win the European. I was surprised he was still going. You just
Yeah,
as soon as you guess someone's
well,
going to win, they're going to get
In
taken
the
out.
European, I think I was on 2% health for about 2 laps, and then I got taken out by Sean.
Well,
But it's
these
all
things
part of
happen,
fun.
mate. That's it. That's
All
it.
So,
So
uh,
I've been
racing.
told by the boss man it's Big Valley Inner Oval next week for another Gold Roof qualifying round. Big Valley Inner Oval, is that one of your favourite tracks?
I do quite like Big Valley. It's very quick. You can get round there quick, but you've just got to be careful of the wall and how you're coming out them corners. If you're on a lock diff and you've got all full throttle on, you're just going to spin yourself out into the wall,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
which is one of the main problems.
Well, keep practicing it, mate. I know you've been racing with us, haven't you, during the weeks?
Yeah, I ain't been
so
too bad on there.
Hopefully that's giving you some more practice and getting you more towards the pointy end of the races.
Yep, let's hope so. Fingers crossed for next week.
Excellent, mate. Thank you for speaking to us, mate.
No problem.
And we'll wish you all the best for the rest of the series.
Thank you.
No worries, mate. So, Sean, Big Valley Inner Oval next week. Any
That
thoughts?
should be good. That should be good. I think we've had two shale for our first 2, obviously streaming. Back on the tarmac, we could see things mix up maybe, with a few people maybe, showing better on tarmac. Probably Big Valley in a row is probably a favourite for most people who play Wreckfest.
Definitely.
Not a personal favourite of mine. I don't mind the track. And it could be interesting because you've got to get a very good line round there. You can, like you were saying, if you're not careful, you end up sliding out wide, and hitting the wall, and that can be disastrous and send you flying because the wall does.
Can cause problems, can't it? Yes.
Yeah, because it tends to break up and you end up bouncing sort of out of it, and that can be problematic. Be interesting to see how rough they get, because you can get some really good close, clean racing around there. So it might be probably a different style of racing from this week, where it was just carnage. We might get some cleaner racing maybe, but how these guys are, those big
I'm
hits,
expecting it
probably
being
not.
a bit cleaner, but
A bit.
I'm expecting there being a bit of rough and ready racing as well. Right, well, I think we'll bring it to a close for tonight. Thank you all for watching.
Yep.
We'll expect to see you all here again next week for Big Valley Inner Oval at the same time currently, but that may change, but we will keep you up to date if it does. So from myself, thank you very much, and from Sean,
Goodbye and see you next time.
see you next time, guys. Thank you very much for watching.
I'm tired of fake versions. I want my heart to grow. How can you love and stay normal?